Hey, good morning everyone. Rob here for Southwest Florida Television. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here at Delnor-Wiggins Pass State Park in North Naples, Florida. A glorious morning, as Roy would say. 70 degrees right now. Today's high is going to be up around 88. The water is looking really good. Really clearing up, nice and clear now this morning. Very calm. I can see lots of little fish swimming around out here. Yeah, some of those little fish are getting bigger. I just saw a school of them go by. That wind is still coming out of the east, northeast. Every now and then we get a good breeze through here, but all in all, it is beautiful. I'm going to walk down the beach a little ways down to the south. Somebody's with me. I got company out here this morning. I've got our friend Annette is going to join me. She came in special for the occasion today. God bless you, all the way from Colorado.
I'm so happy to be here.
Amen. Amen. There's several people that are flying in just for this afternoon for Roy's celebration of life. It's so awesome. He brought so many people together. Man.
Sure did.
So Annette, do you got any special? Oh, you have some special memories of Roy. I mean, you only met him. What was it, a year ago?
Yeah.
Down on Vanderbilt, and it was kind of. Wasn't it your daughter that kind of gravitated to him first?
It was. Yes. Yep. Roy reminded her of her own grandpa.
How sweet.
Yeah, who had just passed away 3 years before, and she was really close to him. So, yeah, she's the one who got me to go over and say hey to him. And boy, the rest is history.
Isn't it?
But, yeah, we had every day he was wanting to get back to Delnor-Wiggins, but, was relegated to Vanderbilt Beach.
Yeah, well, the park was closed. Yeah, because of the COVID.
Exactly.
He was stuck up there.
Yeah, but we sat every morning and, for about an hour and a half and just enjoyed each other's company, and I got to know him. And
I mean, he just sucked you in. That smile of his, he just sucked you in. He was a magnet.
Sure did. And I just never wanted to even miss a morning. So it was great. It was a really sweet time. There was about 6 weeks of hanging out with him every morning.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, when you left, it was like, oh my gosh, his world ended there. He was like, oh.
He bounced back. He has many friends.
He's got so many friends. It's amazing how many friends he made here.
Yeah. And yeah, his extended family is pretty remarkable.
It's amazing. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Did you ever bring him any snacks out to the beach?
Absolutely.
There you go. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
Once you bring some food to Roy, you're in his memory banks forever.
I would just stop by Starbucks and get coffee, and he loved, of course, blueberry muffins.
Of course.
So that's what I would get him.
How sweet.
And, of course, bring him his oranges and apple supply.
Oh, man, that guy. So many people brought so many snacks out here for him. Kim, oh my gosh. Kim, I can't imagine how much smoked salmon she bought from Costco for that man. That's probably the reason Costco had smoked salmon, because of Roy. Every time she'd come down here, she'd have packages of it. Yeah. Grapes, his blue cheese. He loved his blue cheese, his apples, and of course his oranges. He had his own theory about how much vitamin C you're supposed to take. He did some kind of math. The animals, he said, make their own vitamin C. So he had some kind of formula. Well, if an elephant weighs this many pounds, it makes this much vitamin C. So he figured out how much vitamin C he needed to take. And it was It was outrageous how much vitamin C he would used to take.
I know. I would marvel at how many he could just down.
Yeah.
And he was really fast at eating them too.
And he had all his little cups laid out on the counter with all his vitamins.
Oh, goodness.
He was something else.
Well, it's because of Roy that I put my oranges in the refrigerator now. I used to just leave them out on the counter, and I said, oh, they taste really good when they're cold.
Yeah, he loved it. Nothing like a cold orange.
Yeah.
Every day when we'd go home, that's what he'd have. He'd have, at least a handful of them. He's like, boy, those cold oranges are sure going to taste good. He's like, you want to come in for cold oranges every day. You want to come in for some cold oranges.
And he must have, after that, he would do his rowing machine.
Yeah, he did. He was on that for quite a while.
Yeah.
As long as he could.
I was impressed.
Yep.
He exercised more than I did.
Amen to that. I mean, when I first met him, he was jogging up and down the beach. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a real fast jog, but he was jogging on the beach.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
I just saw that video when you first met him.
that was too funny.
I love that. And you said, this is what you look like when you walk on the beach every day.
90, I was 92. Yeah. And it's, holy smokes, man, 92. I thought he was maybe 70 when I first met him.
Yeah. He was very spry.
He was.
Full life.
He was spry and frisky. He was frisky. Oh, I haven't seen any sea turtle tracks yet. I've been trying to keep an eye over there as we're walking down here. Maybe some dolphins. It'd be nice to see some dolphins jumping out of the water here. It is so flat.
I'll keep an eye. Yeah, it is.
This is when it's great to see them because, they're really easy to spot. I have not seen one in quite a while.
When I was here last month, I didn't see any.
Little kids running on the beach. It's going to be a busy day. Mm-hmm. This park we get a lot of people come over from the other coast on the weekends and make a day of it. They don't want to be around all the confusion over on the other coast of Florida. So they come over here for the day. Yeah, I think it was about a 30-second exchange of greetings there, exchange of names. And that 30 seconds on the beach there with Roy, it changed a lot of people's lives. It's just amazing how
one person can be the catalyst for so many to get together and
it was just it blew my mind.
Well, that's his legacy for us, at least. I'm sure he has all sorts of legacies even before you met him.
Well, exactly. What went on? He shared a lot of stories with us and with me, but what did he do before that? What was he doing? When I met him, I said, how long you been coming out here? 15, 20 years. He didn't have a clue how long he's been coming out here to the beach.
Yeah.
But what did he do?
Yeah,
in those 15 to 20 years? Of course, Audrey was with him.
Yeah.
His beloved Audrey, who he's dancing away with right now. I bet that was one heck of a reunion.
I can imagine. He missed her.
Yep. He would just sit here. He would sit over on that bench a lot thinking about her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and his brother Rudy got to reunite with him.
I'm so glad that I got to meet Rudy. I only met him one time, but I'm so thankful for that.
Yeah.
He shared some great stories, and he was quite the man himself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, they probably had some great times together.
I bet they did. And being on the same, stationed on the same ship during the war, that was quite a feat. I mean, that was something that the military never did.
Right.
You know, they never kept siblings together. They always separated them.
Leave it to Roy to find a way to
Oh, yeah.
somehow make that happen.
Yeah. Well, he said his parents had some clout or something with their local congressman. And that's how they got that deal arranged. But, oh, it is a beautiful morning here.
Sure is. So nice to be here live instead of just watching.
I know.
From Colorado, I guess.
I know. I wish I could like just suck everybody through their phones or computers or tablets, whatever they're watching on, and bring them here today. I mean, you know, when you're watching the video, you know, you miss the wind blowing in your face, the smell of the water. It's nothing like the real deal.
So true.
That's the best I can do for now. Someday we'll have that technology.
Well,
you know, it seems like everything in Star Trek slowly starting to happen, becoming reality. One of these days.
It's true. You know, the last month in Colorado has been very dreary, and it's just so nice to tune in and, you know, kind of transport myself somewhere else. Even just virtually.
I know it amazes me at how many people that follow along. There's people that follow along and say this is the closest they've ever gotten to a beach in their life. And growing up in Florida, that's like, really? But I mean, yeah, if you grew up in the center of the country somewhere, yeah, there's some people that don't venture too far from their homes. I really haven't ventured too far from my home. I'm only 100 miles away from where I grew up over in Miami.
Well, I can see why. It's beautiful here. There's no reason to go too far.
Exactly. I mean, I think I enjoy going up north once in a while. I mean, we got family up there, relatives and things, but I'll take the sand over the snow any day.
Me too. I'm not sure how I ended up in Colorado, but actually it's usually very nice there, but I do miss the water.
Yep. So how good are your eyes? Do you see any turtle nests down there to the south? Do you see any of those stakes?
Maybe, but
I thought we might have a new nest today.
Is there like a white sign? Is that... No, I think that's a chair.
Yeah, it's hard to see them. It's hard. And sometimes they get up, they'll go up into the dune area, which is a good thing. The higher they get up on the beach, the better.
Yeah.
Well, it was nice of you to get up early to come for a beach walk.
It was a bit early for me.
It is, even though you're here for a reason, it's still a vacation.
But I'm only here for a couple of days, so
I know.
I should enjoy every minute.
Yep, soak in.
Yeah.
Soak it in while you can.
I'm happy to be here.
I can't wait to see how many people show up tonight. I got a feeling we're going to be surprised.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't respond to events on Facebook and things like that. They'll say they're coming, but when they check, it's, their wife's coming too. So the numbers are kind of misleading.
Yeah.
1 equals 2 or 3.
I think it'll be a really good turnout.
No matter how many show up, it's going to be awesome. Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
And then the blueberry cake will be
that'll
be a hit.
Yep. That'll be Roy's. He'd love that. I had just started taking him over there to the House of Omelets, in the past last 6 months. And he just fell in love with that cake. The last time we were there, he had a bowl of soup and cake. That's what he had for lunch. He left a little soup, but there wasn't a crumb of cake left on his plate.
I believe that.
Anything with blueberries, oh my Lord. His blueberry pancakes at first watch.
That was the other thing I would bring him as a special treat. Yeah, the blueberry pancakes and bacon. And
Oh yeah, his crispy bacon. He liked that bacon cooked really, really well. And his own maple syrup, real maple syrup. He had to have that with him.
Yeah.
My gosh, he was actually drinking the maple syrup. He used to bring, some hot cocoa mix, the powder, and make hot cocoa, get a cup of hot water. For some reason, I don't know, he ran out of it. And he decided, well, I'm going to put my maple syrup in this hot water. So he would go through a half a bottle of maple syrup every time he'd go over to First Watch. Each sitting, he'd go through half a bottle of syrup.
Oh, that reminds me of the movie Elf, where he pulls out the syrup out of his sleeve and pours it all over the spaghetti. I think Roy had a little elf in him.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't see any difference in him. If somebody, you'd think they'd be acting, they'd have a sugar buzz with all that syrup. And I don't know, I think just he was always so happy and jovial that you couldn't tell.
Right.
Well, I don't see anything down here.
No.
Darn it. I was hoping we have a new nest today. That'd be nice. There could be one up to the north. Good morning. Where is that wind coming from? Can't see the darn flag down there. Can you see that green flag down there on the left? It's hard to see.
But it's barely blowing.
It's barely moving down there.
Yeah.
It feels like
it's coming. It's not moving enough.
It's swirl. Well, now it feels like it's coming this way from the east again. It's like swirling around here.
Yeah.
We'd be great sailors.
Yeah.
What way is the wind coming from? I don't know. Roy, there was a video I shared that him and I, it was a foggy morning. And I mean, he'd come out here every morning for sunrise. We'd spend sunrise together up at Wiggins Pass in the mornings. And it was real foggy and the sun was out, but he said, we were arguing that the sun was up. He said it wasn't up. And it's like, well, you just go by the time, Roy, And he's like, well, it's daylight savings time. And well, it didn't change since yesterday. And he was determined that because we didn't see that sun, it wasn't up yet. He loved his sunrises. Oh, he loved his sunrises. He would get, when I first met him, he'd be on his hands and knees up at the pass, talking to Audrey, talking to his creator. He always used to call God the creator. God's got his hands full now. I don't know if Roy got his answer yet. He had two questions that he always wanted to. He said, when I meet God, I got two questions, how and why.
Yeah.
Oh, they're simple questions. I think that's one of the reasons why he made it to 96, because God didn't want to face him. He knew he's going to have his hands full and be busy. And Audrey probably needed her rest still.
I bet he has his answer, so.
Oh, well, I told him, when you get that answer, let me know, share it with me. I'm waiting to hear the answer. I'm sure he had to sign some kind of agreement. You cannot share this.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, gotcha.
Get closer to the water. You get a heck of a workout walking in this sand. It's so soft. It's nice though, the water. Not smelling anything, no signs of red tide.
So what does the red tide smell like?
Well,
I've been here when it's been particularly pungent.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It leaves like you'll get like a tinny, like feeling it, like in your throat. It just,
And then it makes
I don't know,
cough, right?
it makes you cough. I mean, when you smell it, you'll never forget it. I mean, it's horrible.
So there was some of it recently, right?
It's right now. It's here. It is, but it's off our. It's just off our beach right now. It's just offshore in the Gulf, and I think it's like medium quantities is what they said. Medium concentrations of it. But when it's bad, the water actually turns a brownish red color.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it in the water. But we've been very fortunate because the wind's been coming from the east, so it pushes it offshore.
Right.
And the fish that die, it keeps them offshore.
Oh my gosh,
I don't know, it was 3 years ago, we had it really, really bad here. I mean, the entire beach was lined with dead fish, piled on top of each other. Just
Oh, wow.
the entire shoreline, as far as you could walk. Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I'm sure that looked really creepy. And
It was
so
horrible.
Was it closed to swimming and everything?
Well, no, but
Yeah,
use
who
your common
wants to-
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it was terrible. I mean, and it wasn't. A lot of times you'll see like just certain species of fish will wash up, like it might be catfish or it might be mullet. This spared nothing. I mean, everything from crabs to every species of fish we had. Eels, all the different eels we have out here were washed up on the beach. Our little fighting conchs, the starfish. I mean, it just wiped out everything. It was horrible.
Well, I wonder why there haven't been as many dolphins recently.
I don't know what's going on with them. I mean, people are seeing them. Well, I'm not seeing them here in the morning like I used to, but people are seeing them. They haven't gone away.
It's my mission. I've got to find one, especially today.
Yeah, well, I would kind of think Roy'd be coming by on the back of one
Right.
with his saddle on it. He loved his dolphins.
And it just never gets old to see them.
It never does.
It's
But
just
for
beautiful.
me, every time I see a dolphin, it just makes my day. I kind of look at them as a good luck charm.
I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah, you could see a manatee too going by. You just have to look for there's little trails they leave in the water. You just see a little flat spot out there.
Yeah.
Or you'll see some little round flat spots. It's when they're bubbles before they come up to take a breath, especially the manatees and the dolphins. You'll see these little circles out there. Yeah, Roy he never got a swim in the past few months. He never got to go out in the water.
I did see him, was it maybe last summer or towards
yeah.
the fall? And I was so happy to see him in the water.
Was he going in the water when you were down, when you first met him?
No,
Okay.
because he had,
He had a
he had
cut or
open
whatever. Yeah,
cuts. Yeah.
yep.
And then right when they were about to heal, he, stumbled into
Right, he
his
fell.
dresser or
Yep.
something and opened another one up. So that's why I was so happy when I finally did see him in the water
Yep.
again. So, yeah.
It's like, oh, if I should have, could have kind of thing. It's like, what would it have hurt if he went in the water? If I'd known it was his last days, it wouldn't have done any harm.
Well, at least he got very close to it every day.
Yes, he did.
He was dipping his feet in.
Oh, yeah, he'd push it to the limit. He'd sneak over there and get his feet wet.
Well, he's splashing around every day now.
You got that right. Roy, he pushed everything to the limit. He'd go just, just one step beyond the limit there. Don't cross that line. Okay, he'd go one step over the line. He had to swim across that pass up here. It didn't work out too well for him, but he did it and he survived it.
When did he do that?
Oh, it was before I met him. But he wound up, the current carried him off into the mangrove trees. He got all tangled up.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Yeah, there was actually a lifeguard from California up there at the pass, on vacation. And he saw him and he rescued him. It's like every time Roy does something like that, there's somebody there to, there's an angel. We call them Roy's angels. So
That's
many
a good
times.
example of him taking it one.
Oh, yeah.
Step. Wow. I didn't realize he had done that.
Oh, yeah. He was, he wanted to go skydiving.
Yeah.
That was his.
We talked about that a lot last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was determined. He can skydive now.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah. He doesn't need a parachute now. He's got wings. See if this guy catches a little fish here. There's tons of little fish out here in the water.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, we're watching you. Hey. There's times where they just get one after the other. I don't know where they put them. I mean, they just eat them like popcorn. The little snowy egrets. Okay. No luck. Doesn't want to eat in front of us. Good morning. It is a gorgeous morning. No clouds.
So still.
Yeah, now the breeze has died down. I hope the wind dies down for this evening. It was real windy a couple days ago. Man, it was like standing in a sandblaster up at the end of the beach. The sand was just blowing. It was like the desert. The sand was just blowing.
Yeah, watching from Colorado, I can always tell when it's windy.
Oh yeah, you can hear the wind.
Yeah.
How are you doing? All right?
I'm doing great.
Okay. Well, you got your coffee. You're cheating.
I couldn't have made it here without it.
I was shocked when you said you were here. I was like, oh my gosh.
I know. So when I would come out with Roy, it was never until about 8 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
And he was always trying to get me out at sunrise, and I just laugh. I'm not a sunrise person.
Right.
But it was, it would be around 8 o'clock, and I'd spend his last hour and a half or so out on the beach with him. But that was about as early as I could muster.
It was funny. When he first met you, he kept telling me about this lady on the beach I've been talking to. And I was like, I thought you were an imaginary friend because I never saw you. I was like, Roy, who are, her name, Annette is her name. I'm like, I don't know any Annettes. No, yeah, she comes out there. She does. She brings me muffins and.
Yeah, it was definitely a while until I met you.
Yep.
So, yeah, it was just our timing was off, and
yep,
everything was a bit off
because he was. Well, he was driving, man. I guess, or were you taking him home?
No, he was driving.
Okay.
And then I would, help him pack up his stuff and walk him back up to his car, help him get his feet all washed off from the sand.
Oh, yeah. Then he'd like to sit up there, and there was some flowers. He always used to stare. There were some flowers by the shower. If they were in bloom, he would just sit there and stare at them.
Yeah. And so, he would drive, and I'd wave and watch him drive away, and and then, you know, if I didn't, usually I would have a little errand to run for him, or
right,
you know, and I'd swing by his place and
get him some little groceries or something. Yeah. So many people just looking after him, helping him out. It's amazing.
But I wasn't worried when I left. I knew I was going to miss him, but I knew he was in good hands.
Well, there's always, you know, there's just always somebody else would show up.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
Yeah. He had that gravitational force.
He did. He was a moon.
Mm-hmm.
What time is it now?
This is 8:23.
8:23. Okay.
Well, my daughter Charlotte, who enjoyed his company so much, she was sad that we kind of told her she probably shouldn't come because she has finals this week for school.
How sad. And
she just had a lot going on. So, but she's definitely with us in spirit.
Amen.
He had an impact on all young and old.
I mean, there's so many people that wish they could be here with us today. So many people.
Yeah.
But there's so many great memories of him here on Facebook. It's like he's never leaving us. I mean, he's in our hearts, but you can go see his smiling face anytime you want. There's so many pictures and videos of him. I mean, if you just Google his name, they pop up. It's amazing.
I love that.
He is a legend. I'm gonna go out in the water. I love standing out in the water and taking a shot back at the beach. It just gives you a better appreciation for it, how beautiful it is. And we're up at Roy's spot here in Area 4. There's his trees. This is where we're going to be this evening for his celebration of life. But it is a glorious Sunday morning here in North Naples. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm just walking the beach with our friend Annette, sharing stories about Roy, sharing the memories. He impacted so many people's lives. And all you had to do was meet him one time, and he had you hooked. Something about him. I'm thinking some people might come out to the beach earlier today and spend some time here before the celebration of life in honor of Roy. That water feels great. I don't know what the temperature is, but it's nice. Kevin up here ahead of us. And Mark. What's up, guys? How you doing, Mark? Nice morning, man. Nice morning. And gorgeous morning. Any sad faces coming over there to the picnic table? Anybody try to snag it away from us?
No.
Awesome.
Can't let it happen.
Awesome. We've got a guard on duty. We got a sentry at his post guarding that picnic table. You got the whole thing, man. Good thinking, Kevin. Good thinking.
That's a fancy spread.
Yeah. They set up, this gal sets up little meals on the beach, little parties or whatever. This one's the Mother's Day. She said a late Mother's Day. Brunch on the beach. Great little business. I don't know where Robert's at. He's usually out here walking around while he's down here. You know, it was weird. There was like a sailboat over on the other side of the pass that was like, the guy ran aground and they just basically abandoned it.
I was here last month when that happened.
Yeah,
I saw it.
that's
Yeah.
right. And the next morning after Roy passed away, it was gone. And I had made a little comment that night when I was up there, the evening, Sunday evening. I'm like, well, Roy's going to hop on that sailboat and sail away. And Monday morning, it was gone. What were the odds of that disappearing on a weekend, like that? I mean, after sitting there for so long, it was like, well, maybe he did get on it and sail away. He always used to. Yep, there's a lot of things I wouldn't put past him. But he would sit in his chair and he used to call it sand sailing. He'd just sit there pretending he was on a sailboat, sailing over the horizon. Oops, sorry. I am going to end this live feed and start another one up for our friends because I have to keep them about an hour long on Instagram. So I don't know how long it's been, 45 minutes or something. I don't know. But I will be right back with our friend Annette, in case you're wondering who I'm talking to. It's Annette. Yep. So hang in there. I'll be right back. If I don't see you later, have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Remember, tell your friends about Southwest Florida Television. Spread the word. Share the love. Bringing wonderful people just like you together in the mornings, one beach walk at a time. That's what it's all about. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay strong. Tally-ho, my friends, tally-ho. For Southwest Florida Television, I'm Robb Stan. God bless.